Lies, lies, using lies as alibis. Oh, lies, lies, just a devil in disguise. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, lies. Y'all let me know who sings that song. I'll give you guys a shout out in next week's review. Give me the name of the song, the album that song came off of, and the year all that came out. Darling, so finally I started to get back in my little old get up and give you guys something you could feel it. Because finally they gave us something that we could feel. Um, these first two parts reunions was just shitty boots. But now they finally giving us some fever or whatever. And I'm kind of sort of feeling it. Kind of sort of feeling it. Kind of. We'll say. It is pretty good though. This reunion part 3 is pretty good. But I think part 4 is where everything's gonna come out. The tears, the emotions. It's just gonna be a mess. And we're gonna reveal even more is gonna be revealed than it was revealed this part, darling. Little disheveled, darling. There's a lot going on in the house. There's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot, there's a lot. Just giving the kids vocals today. What's tea? Like, what's really going on? Got my spiffy up or whatever, and it's time to get it popping. Okay, but first of all, before I start this review, let me give a shout out to Sierra Jones. She named last week's trivia question, which was Mariah Carey, E equals MC squared, and the song that I was singing was Bye Bye. So shouts out to you, darling. Okay, where do we want to start? Let's just start with the men. How about that? Let's just start at the beginning. They had Bob, big sweaty ass on there. Bob has not been sweating for the past few episodes or whatever he's been on there, so we're very proud of him for that. But Bob was there, and it immediately got into the whole abuse thing, the thing that we left off with last week. I was just like, God damn, we're still here. We're still in this moment, in this box, talking about this shit. And I just kind of wanted it to be over.com. But Andy didn't want it to be over, so I guess what the fuck I wanted didn't matter. So I was just like, oh God, here we damn go again. So they get into Bob and Sheree. Andy starts to ask Bob about you have this big son, this big beautiful. I thought he was gonna say this big black son, but you have this big son who very much so looks up to you. And how have you talked to him and girl Callie, I believe that's her name, about the whole abuse thing? And what if he grows up and feels the need to abuse women, or what if your daughters get abused or whatever? And he pretty much didn't have anything to say to that, like most men don't. When certain things like that go on, when they get caught and the shit hits the fan, they really don't know what to say. He said something very excuse me, he said something very nice to Sheree in that moment. He was just like, you know what, I was being stupid, I was being young, just ignorant, and I didn't treat her like the queen that she is. And I definitely regret treating her that way. And I was very much so the man, and I should have been having her walk beside me, not behind me. And Sheree was just like, she was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Like, the shit sound good, the shit is cute for a minute until you get back home and it's the same shit. And he also asked Sheree, does she feel comfortable, allowing him back into your life, all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting, even on Watch What Happens Live with Nene, which was hilarious when she was reading the girls. Once we learned the little secret from later on in this reunion. But it was what they know of Bob is just Bob to be just a funny guy, a fun loving guy, awesome. But you just never know what the hell's going on in people's household, and I'll tell you all the time. Just in general, I feel like some people are just natural born actors, and like I feel like they're missing their calling because you're amazing. Like the shit that you do, you are amazing, and I don't know why you're not in somebody's Hollywood space. Like your shit is good. You could really be giving it to the people, but whatever. So, Sheree was just like, "Look, I'm cool on Bob, but I ain't fucking with his big sweaty ass, and I'm not gonna take another chance." And I don't blame him. And it's interesting that both Sheree and Bob has never told their kids on their past issues and everything with each other. So it's just very it's just very unfortunate. What did they lead to off that child? So we got Peter Black ass. Peter come out. And Peter is Peter. They start to talk. They ask Cynthia, start to grill Cynthia on did they really sleep together. He was just like, no, because we was broken up at that point, and I don't want all of Cynthia. I don't want a part of Cynthia. I want all of Cynthia. So if I can't have all of her, then I don't want none of her. I was just like, this is very deep. This is very deep. I don't believe it, but this is very deep of him. This is very deep. Um, they also get into the whole thing of why they whole relationship didn't work out. And Cynthia, I was wondering when the hell they was gonna get when they was gonna get to Cynthia because they took forever to get to Cynthia. I was just like, damn, that's shady as hell. Um, my teeth are giving me life right now. I'm sure y'all know this, but it seems like I guess it's true. Like when you wear like red lipstick, it makes your teeth look whiter and everything. So, oh girl, all you doing? I can't wait to do my candy voice. But anyway, so thought I saw some child. I got scared and I got nervous. You brighten up the moon and stars at night. You bring me meaning to my life. Anyway, they got into Cynthia and Peter and talk about the whole thing and what really happened with their divorce. Cynthia, she was just like, coming into a situation and it just seemed like it was just constant things that was going on. She really wanted it to work. She wanted them to make it happen, Mariah Carey. But it just basically ended up not working out for them. And did I personally feel like Cynthia put in enough work in the relationship? I do. I don't know how she stuck with his ass this long. But Peter, he broke it down. He was just like, you know what, Cynthia coming, being who she is and coming from where she come from, she's a woman that, didn't need a man for anything. She did everything on her own. She was independent, top model. She paid for shit. She was a boss. She was a boss. You feel me? And Peter was just like, she got with me and a lot of shit came with me. And she wasn't really ready for all of that, to I guess, I feel like that was a part of it. But once Peter started digging in and out of her pockets, doing these flop ass restaurants and shit start happening, I think she was over it at that point. And which I kind of don't blame her because I mean, once somebody started digging in my pockets, I'm pretty much over it as well. Um, I mean, it was really nothing else to say. So moving on from that. Oh no 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 no! Oh my gosh. Okay. So when Peter was talking, giving his whole goodbye speech, he brought up the fact that it was just very hurtful hearing people saying that I slept with waitresses and I did all this when I know I didn't. And last season Portia at the reunion, she was just like, "Oh yeah, Peter slept with that all Peter's employees are getting paid through dick, at least the female ones." And he was just like, this is very unfortunate and it was hurtful because I wasn't fucking nobody. And, I now have somebody who I really genuinely like. And, I waited a year. And, I went a whole year without sleeping with my wife. And so now that I'm officially divorced, I'm going to do this other woman and I'm going to do her good and I'm giving her something she can feel. I was just like, ooh, child. So Portia's sitting over there doing nothing or whatever. Um, how did Andy ended up talking to Phaedra? Oh, Phaedra and Portia, they was talking and having a conversation. And she said something about total package. Peter used that as an opportunity to say, Phaedra, do you got the total package? And she was just like, yeah, I got the total package. I'm divorced. He was like, you divorced? He was like, yeah, I'm divorced. Um, they also brought up Todd with Portia, and Peter asked why Todd wasn't there. Apparently, Todd wasn't there because he got a job in DC. So, whatever. But they're kind of on shaky ground. They talked about the whole baby nut that Portia gave the kids, which was stupid. And Peter just pretty much had enough of Phaedra and Portia, so he walked off the set. Andy was just like, "Did Peter just walk off the set?" Andy, yes, Peter just walked off the set. And I was just like, this shit is like crazy. What's really going on with him? Peter, he was just like, I just can't deal with the lies. I can't deal with the foolery of Portia and Phaedra. It's just too much to take in. And I somewhat agree with him. But this reunion was a little bit more juicy, so we had to stay tuned. Yeah. So Peter walked off stage and we was pretty much done with Peter. I don't think anybody missed him. Did y'all miss him? Okay, so moving on. They asked Candy about Block. What's tea with Block? And he was just like, you know what? Block has really stepped up. By this time, Todd was out there too. It was Todd, Bob, and Peter. But a little later on, Andy brought back out Todd. But they was all still on the stage during this moment when they asked about Block, and Candy was just like, Block has really stepped up since the show and all that kind of stuff, and it's just really it's really great that he's finally starting to get into his daughter's life, and I agree. But I just feel like the cameras made him look like an ass, so he was just like, let me step up and do something. That's just how I feel, but whatever. Maybe he really cares. Y'all let me know in the comments if he really gives a damn, or hit the fact that he was on the show, did that like help him come around Riley and stuff a little bit more. Y'all let me know. I just don't feel like a lot of this shit is that genuine. But whatever. And Andy brought up the fact that Todd got in his daughter's life later on because he found out that he had a daughter. I guess when she was, I don't know, we're gonna say between 8 and 12 or so. So it was definitely something else. Uh, and what else happened after that? I think that's it. Let's just move along from that. Um. Oh, they introduced Shamia. They brought Shamia in. Shamia was giving me life. As I was looking at the whole color scheme that they was going for, I really, really dug it. I really did. Um, because they just had all these different colors and it was just beautiful, the whole color scheme. Y'all tell me in the comments y'all like the color scheme that they was given. I just really, really loved it. I was just like, okay, I'm loving like from the lights all the way down to the darks, and I was just like, yes. I'm the bone carrier. I'm the bone carrier. They got into Sheree. That whole thing, audience question, audience member tweeted or whatever, and not audience member, y'all know the whole questions from the people, the viewers, darling, the us. They asked, why do y'all fuck with Sheree, like, and all that kind of stuff. And Kenya stuck up for Sheree. She was just like, they all need to just spill their own tea and just, keep it funky and keep it real. And I'm kind of borderline with that. Everything doesn't need to be said, but I mean, we know what this is. Those of us who are reality television savvy, we know what this is. We know what Sheree's doing. She need a check. Chateau Sheree, the bills, the light bill, the cable. Gotta finish the basement. We get it. Okay. So, moving on from that, child. Okay. Let's start. Portia, they got into the whole thing with Shamia being both friends with Candy and Portia. And she was just like, it's just very difficult now. Andy asked Shamia, do you feel, torn in between the two? Cause I really wanna be with you, and you keep telling me I should leave you alone. So many times I I was ready to go. So many times I had my foot out the door. So many times I thought I would give him a chance. Thought he'd be a better man. Now I'm sitting here and I'm so confused, 'cause I keep crying myself for you. I don't know how much more I can take, but I can't feel this way. You got me so tired. I really wanna be with you, but I don't know. Should Chase stay or should Chase go? Who sings that song, y'all? Let me know. Comment section, year, etc. And what pop, R&B, female group that singer used to be in. Give me all that, and I'll give a shout out on next week's review, which will be part 4. Darling, it's over with. It's over now. It's over now. Whatever. So they get into the whole thing. Portia, they read Portia for filth, which I was here for. It was just like, Portia, you're always fucking defending Phaedra and her bullshit, but you never defended Candy. And it very much so seemed like that you're picking Phaedra's side over Shamia's. And so she decided to go ahead and apologize to Shamia. And Kenya, she was just like, no, that's not what she said. Kenya interrupted her, as she do, showing the ashy thigh. And they started to go back and forth. Kenya, Portia told Kenya to shut the fuck up. I died. And Kenya, she was just like, no, nobody's gonna tell me to shut the fuck up. Andy had to interject, let Kenya know that she was wrong in this instance. Straight up, Ma, you was wrong, and just let it go, let her have her moment. And Kenya was like, anger management's not working. She was just like, oh yes, it is working now. It's not. You're right. It's not fucking working. It was just funny and petty as hell. Kenya called Portia Elvis. I hollered. Portia said it. Okay, whatever. Toodles, bitch, and all that kind of stuff. It was just. It was petty and it was funny as hell. Like them going back and forth. Kenya was giving me life during this reunion. I see why she'd be sitting so close to Andy. But she's a mess. So she went on ahead and apologized. Freaking Frack, child. Everybody feels like freaking Frack is a fraud. Everybody, fraud and freaking fraud is what they call them now. They feel like that whole thing is a sham. It's a scam. There is in Atlanta, child. They feel like it's all just a bunch of BS. Freaking Frack. They feel like that it's just an alliance. Even Nene Leakes said that on Watch What Happens Live. I do think it's convenient for them to be cool. I mean, who else is cool with both of them? I mean, they really ain't got too many friends on the show. So, I mean, they got to do what they got to do, right? I mean, I understand it, but, I mean, it is what it is, darling. Let's see. Sheree was talking shit. Sheree, she was giving tea and all that kind of stuff. They asked who was the shadiest person on the cast, and of course, Phaedra. She was just like, oh, well, I'm not going to tell you, what I do is I protect your tea. I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to just spill your tea all around town. But Phaedra, stop. No, but you'll just do it behind the scenes, child. They got into the whole big thing what we're all fucking came for, just to end this, child. They said, let me see. I'm looking at my notes really quick just to make sure I ain't forgetting anything. Enjoy the music. Oh, and he kept asking Candy how many women she's been with and all this kind of stuff. She said she done been with a few women, less than 10, and Portia, she finally admitted that she has been with women. Apparently, there was something that went on like 10 years ago with Portia. She said that gays should be abominated, or some shit, from back in the day. We didn't know about it. I didn't know about it, so I'm not gonna hold it against her. I mean, let's just add it to the list of the other shit that these folks say. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not offended at all. And coming from Portia, I'm not offended by anything Portia says because she's a light bulb that's never on. It is not rechargeable. Now, let's see. And what I thought was kind of stupid was when Phaedra and Andy was getting into it kind of about about whether or not Candy slept with, if she slept with a woman one time, that means she's a lesbian, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was kind of stupid. I was like, it was certain parts that was great in this reunion, but it was way better than part one and part two for sure. Like I said earlier, but yeah, it was certain parts that was just dumb. It was just like, child, that's who gives a damn. But do I personally think that if Candy has had experiences with a female, does that necessarily make her gay? No. But it does make her bi-curious or bisexual, in my opinion. Same thing with a man. It's just so interesting how like women can go back and forth and sleep with women and they're still not considered gay. But if a man do that, he gay forever. Like, let somebody find out. Like, he's dogged, he's put down. Like, it's just a whole mess. But women, can go back and forth just as free, and it's not an issue. So, just one of those double standards in life. I've been waiting for someone to come into my life who will give me joy and give me pleasure. I've been to the mantis like a mantis once or twice. Yes. You and only you can do the freaking things you do. You and only you can give me pleasure. You and only you can make me feel the way I do. And I'm so into you, and that's forever and ever. All my life, my life's been waiting for you, for you. Let me know the name of that song, the artist, the name of the album, the year it came out, and what day that album dropped. It's a very important day in history, a very unfortunate day, a very sad day in history. Let me know all that, and I'll give you a shout out next week's review. Yes. And the name of the movie. There's a movie attached to it. The movie, the album, the year, the day something tragic happens, all that good stuff. And the artist, name of the song, give you a shout out. Yes, 3 for $3, darling. Okay. Finally, we got into the whole thing of everything that happened with the girls, and Portia, she started talking about damn Dish Nation. She's a journalist, this and that. She's this, she's that. She's freak or frack. And I was just like, oh God, here we go with the bullshit. And Candy, she was real. It's so interesting with all of this. Candy, at one point, I feel like as the viewers, we were not on Candy's side. But as the season went on, we became Team Candy. Because, we kind of saw the shit that was going on with Portia and Phaedra. And it was just a mess. It really, really was. So, to end, Portia, she was just like, you know what? I didn't say this and that, and I only said this because of this and that. The same regurgitated shit. And then all of a sudden, she was just like, hold it. I'm about to stop talking real quick. Because I was sent a cease and desist by Candy. And so I'm going to send this over to Phaedra, because Phaedra is the real person that said that Todd and Candy was trying to drug Portia. Candy was the one. Because remember, Phaedra was the one who said it. Because remember, way back in the day, on this show, Portia kept saying, oh, I heard or somebody told me that y'all tried to drug me or whatever. We had no idea who this was. Now, who brought up the whole drug thing? This was about it like a year ago, but the whole incident with Todd, Candace, and Portia happened 3 years ago. So why the fuck are we talking about it now? But it's entertaining and it's giving us something to talk about. So next week, Candy gonna be boohooing and crying, upset. You know, she come from the 90s, so the drugs was everywhere in the 90s. It took a lot of them out. So it's just gonna be a mess, child, and I am happy to say that I am 100% here with it. I know this review's all over the place. I'm all over the place. It is what it is. If you want all the tea, every single little detail, child, you can just watch the reunion, and anything that I missed, put it in the comments and all the good stuff. I just wanted to give you guys my authentic self and just my thoughts on the reunion versus going through every single little part. I gave you what I remembered. And, you know, I made it as entertaining as possible, darling. That's what I do, or at least what I try to do. I love you guys so much. Shouts out to my new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing, for believing in me, for just, you know, just rocking with your boy. Well, whatever this is today. I only dress up like this. I'll try to give you guys a little drag moment on the reunion shows of these reality shows. Any other time, I'm just in my normal self. Take me as I am, or have nothing at all. Whose side are y'all on with this whole thing? And Phaedra's just a mess, and I can't wait for part 4, darling. Let me look over my notes one more time before I let y'all go. Enjoy the music. Jesus. This is it's an old track. You know, it took so long because I had to find the tape. Oh, what a wonderful child. Jill. Glory, ain't about new life, new hope, new joy it brings. Won't you listen to the angels sing? Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Phaedra and Shamia can't stand each other, by the way. It was fun going back and forth. Africans, all that shit. Let me go. Chase King on Facebook, @ITSKINGWORLD on Instagram and Twitter, @ITSKINGWORLD89 on Snapchat. All my social media moments will always be in the bottom bar below. So even if I don't say it in the video, it will always be in the bottom bar below, darling. And that was pretty much it. You guys let me know what's tea, what y'all thought about this video, what y'all think about this look, what y'all think about everything about the Housewives, child. We got one more reunion, part 4, and the shit is gonna hit the fan, and it's just, oh child, it's gonna be good. All right, bye-bye.